Hello, this is Left Turn Productions, and I'm a bit frustrated because this is like the 5th time I've had to record this because I keep getting walked in on. But yeah, this is signups for the LTP Stopmotion series. So yeah, I've been advertising this lately as a multi-purpose series pretty much. There will be 12 races on the schedule, and 4 of them will be run with Cup cars, 4 of them will be run with Legends cars, and 4 of them will be run with Street Stock cars. So it's kind of a mishmash of a bunch of different series that I've run before, but it's all under the same banner. And also the Omaha 500 will still be a thing, but it's going to be a special race in July instead, and it will be only Cup cars for that race. No points will be awarded in that. It's pretty much just because it's a staple. It's got to stay. I got to fit it in there somewhere. But yeah, so there are 13 different teams, and they both have 2 entries. So there will be 26 different numbers to choose from. 3 of them are reserved, however, so there are 23 open cars to choose from. And I'll reiterate the rule, 1 number per person and 1 person per number. So you can't pick a number that someone's already chosen, and you also can't pick more than 1 number. So yeah, let's go and look at your options. So as you can see right here, you can see the structure of all of the showcases here. To the left will be your Cup car, to the middle will be your Legends car, and off to the right will be the Street Stock car. So this right here is one of the 2 Jeep Ganassi cars. This is the number 1 car. And yeah, you can see that I tried to match the colors as much as I could for these cars, but I couldn't do it for all of them, so some of them are a bit sloppy. Some of them are pretty good, though. As you can see here, number 2, a lot of different colors between the cars, but I still think it somehow works, because you got red, and you got black, and white on most of them there. So yeah, and also this is a pretty good selection of cars. All 3 of these cars are pretty fast, so if you want a really good shot at the championship, here's your ticket. So then you got number 3, Richard Childress Racing, one of the 2 in there. Got the green and black going on between all the cars. So yeah, also, that electric green car is going to be pretty easy to spot in the pack of the Street Stock cars. Then you got the number 6, and as you can see, this was one of the last ones that I had to put together. Couldn't find very many matches between colors, but you've got your yellow and black going on for the Cup car, and then you got red and the Legends car, and finally you got the orange with the pink windows for the Street Stock car. That is one of the 2 Roush cars. And here's the last of the 2 Richard Childress Racing cars. That number 8 you'll see on the left, the Cup car will actually be making its first ever points race. And this is one of a few different cars that are doing so. Also, that blue Street Stock car is an absolute beast. It is super, super fast. So if you want a really good chance in the Street Stock series, this is a good number to choose. Then you've got the number 12 here. One of these things are not like the other. But yeah, still a pretty good selection of cars. Most of them are pretty good. So yeah, pretty much like the teammate. Be expecting Penske to be a big factor in the championship. And now we got Stewart-Haas Racing in one of their entries, the number 14. Pretty basic. They're all Fords, which is a pretty good coincidence. So yeah. And here's the number 17, the other Roush Fenway Racing entry. You've got the Fastenal Ford, obviously, on the left, and you've got a blue theme going on between all of these cars. And then you got the number 18 at Joe Gibbs Racing, and this is an interesting one because the Cup car is probably the best one that you can get, but the Street Stock car is really, really slow. So, and it's also interesting to note that the Legends car is like right in the middle. So like, you'll gain a lot of ground in the Cup series probably, or in the Cup races, but you'll probably lose the ground in the Street Stock races too. It really just depends on how good the driver is. And it's actually the same for the other Joe Gibbs car, although it appears that 19 is going to be really fast on the left, the Cup car, but it actually hasn't been in a race yet since I only recently got it. So yeah, it will also be making its first points race, or actually first race in general, in a month from now in the first race. Then you have one of the two Hendrick cars here. You got a blue and red theme going on here between the cars. Yeah, it's a pretty good choice if you want a decent ride. And here we have one of the three already taken cars. Grant Hoover is going to be behind the wheel of the number 25, as he usually is. You've got the black and yellow Caleb Campbell Motorsports street stock cars there. Those are very threatening, and they're very fast. But not so much for the Cup cars, unfortunately for them. So it's kind of the reverse of Joe Gibbs Racing in that instance. And then you've got the number 34, Front Row Motorsports, one of the backmarker teams. But there's a couple decent cars in here. That number 34 isn't awful. The problem is that it's a Front Row Motorsports car. And in the middle, you got that Legends car. That's not a bad Legends car at all. So yeah, moving on, we've got JTG Daugherty Racing in one of their cars, the number 37. This number 37 you see on the left of the Cup car will be entering its first points race as well, as I actually got it after Season 4 ended of the York Cup Series. And a pretty decent selection of cars here as well. And then you got the number 38, which I think has the most interesting color pattern of them all. Not the best, just the most interesting. They're all three different shades of blue, but they're really, really weird shades of blue to pick from. Honestly, if I had to pick what the bottom of the barrel car combination is probably this one, because all three of these cars are pretty slow. But you never know. It could still get some good runs out there as well. And now we've got an interesting one, as I actually ran out of multi-car teams to fill up the 26 spots, because I had 26 Legends cars and 26 street stock cars, and I couldn't pass up the opportunity for that. So I merged a couple of single car teams together. This is PettyLights Racing. So City Lights Racing, Shane Wenzloff's team, they're still around on this channel, although they might not be on the BMRN. They're still sticking around. And they have merged with Richard Petty Motorsports just for this series. The Omaha 500, they'll be their own separate entities. But for the rest of the actual points-paying season, they will be working together. Also worthy of note, the Dodge Challenger in the middle, the Legends car right there, is a very fast car, probably going to be a big threat in those races. And then we got the number 41. This is one of the ones that matched up the best. Red all over the place. Got some black on the Cup car, obviously. This is the other Stewart-Haas Racing car. You can kind of tell because of the Cup car. And then you got the number 42, the second Chip Ganassi Racing car. Again, one of these things are not like the other. And also, that Legends car in the middle is the only Legends car that will be making its first points-paying race start in here. It'll be the first one, because it never ran in the Legends series, which is actually kind of interesting. And then we have the second half of that City Lights Racing / Richard Petty Motorsports merger. This is the Richard Petty Motorsports side. Obviously, the iconic number 43. You've got that in the street stock car. And I just realized I mixed up the street stock car and the Legends car. So that's actually the Legends car on the right and the street stock car in the middle. Oops. That's okay. Decent cars here. Larson Fan 8842 brought that number 43 to a pretty good points finish in the street stock series. And then we got the other Caleb Campbell Motorsports car, which is already taken, I believe. Yeah. So both Caleb Campbell Motorsports cars are taken. Caleb Campbell himself will be driving this car. Obviously, that black number 46. Been a contender pretty much every time that it takes on the field, as well as the number 25. I actually don't know if this is the same 46 as it was in the Street Stock series, or if that's the 25 now, because they look exactly the same. But yeah, that number 46 you see on the side, that will also be its first points-paying race. And then you have the other JTG Daugherty Racing car, and I could not match up colors for this one. I guess the street stock car and the Cup car kind of look similar. They have a bit of a similar paint scheme. But yeah, you can tell I couldn't find a good matchup here. This was one of the last ones that I did. But yeah, teammate to the number 37. Pretty decent selection of cars, especially the street stock car. It looks pretty fast. And then you got Hendrick Motorsports' other car, the number 48. But yeah, not much to say here other than that the Legends car is actually the championship-winning Legends car. It won the York Legends Series Championship with Caleb Campbell behind the wheel, so that is a pretty good one to choose. And then we've got the second of the two mergers, although this one isn't really entirely. This is 5395 Racing, and it has pretty much just taken the Levine Family Racing 95. It's not really a merger, they've just taken the 95. Because I actually have a 95 Toyota on the way. I ordered the Matt DiBenedetto car after I said I wouldn't, but I did anyway. And that car will be in the Omaha 500, and that will actually be Levine Family Racing, but the 95 that you'll see at the end of the video isn't a Levine Family Racing car anymore. But yeah, this is a team owned by Richard Herman. So yeah, also the street stock car is pretty fast. The Legends car is actually also pretty fast. They're both pretty fast cars. And then you have Pacific Racing, and this is the last of the already taken cars. I've taken this car because, come on, it's the 62. Pretty good street stock car, not so good on the other two fronts, but you never know. We'll see how good this car will be. And here is immediately following that the other Pacific Racing car, the number 78. Again, pretty much the same deal here, except I would swap the Legends car and the Cup cars, because that Cup car is not bad. Not a bad choice at all. And finally, we have the second of the 5395 racing cars, the number 95. Again, this is not Levine Family Racing. This isn't even a Levine Family Racing merger. 5395 Racing pretty much just borrowed the 95 from them, the Chevrolet. So, yeah, this isn't Levine Family Racing. But yeah, that will end all of the options that you guys will have. I will look through the comments, see who's the first to get each number. If you get a heart and a reply from me, that means you got the car. So yeah, that will end it. This is Left Turn Productions, signing out.